You are about to learn one of the most in-demand skills in tech right now. And here is the wild part. You do not need to be an expert programmer to do it. In the next few minutes, you are going to learn exactly how to build your very own AI-powered chatbot using Python and the OpenAI API. A chatbot that can answer questions, hold real conversations, and actually understand what users are saying. Think about this for a second. Companies are paying developers thousands of dollars to build exactly what you're about to learn for free, right here, right now. Whether you want to land a job, build a side project, or just finally understand how tools like ChatGPT actually work under the hood, this video is for you. So stick around, because by the end of this, you're going to have a working chatbot running on your own machine. Let us get into it. First, you will need an environment file that will have your token. Now, whatever I'm showing you right now is the standard way to do this. Now we have these credentials in AENV file because we want this ENV file very safe. We do not want this to be pushed to GitHub and so on. So we add this ENV file in a git ignore file that will not track this file. So we have all the credentials here, and whenever we share the file or push it to any version control system like GitHub, GitLab, we do not push this so that it remains safe and it is not exposed. And we do not have this inside the code itself too. And in the code, we will refer to this OpenAI key to access this key. Never put your keys inside your code. After that, we have requirements.txt. Now this will contain all the requirements for the project. For this simple project, we just need OpenAI and tick token module because we want to count how many tokens we have used so that we do not spend our limit or, our bill is not too high, which is often the case in many of these web-coded applications. And we use OpenAI module to call the OpenAI API, use the OpenAI classes, and so on. And finally, we have a main PI main.py where we will write all our code. So let's just jump into the code. And the code is pretty simple. First, let's just add all our imports. Here we're importing the OpenAI module from OpenAI tick token OS, and we are loading the virtual environment file that is this file, and we are getting our API key from this file. And now let's initialize our model. So first we initialize our OpenAI object, and we pass the key here, and then we choose the model. Now GPT-5 Nano is a very inexpensive, and I think this is the cheapest model. So we will choose this, and this is the maximum number of tokens that we allow ChatGPT to utilize for a specific reasoning and response. And this is the overall token budget. Now this is very low, obviously you'll want to increase this. Now I have this low just for this specific project. And finally, this is the system prompt. You are a grumpy, straight trucking assistant who provides concise and direct answers. Now you can definitely change this as you want. And in ChatGPT, you can have multiple prompts according to what you need. But if you are building a custom application, you might want to have a fixed prompt because your app might have a fixed job. So once the system is initialized, we create a message to send to ChatGPT. So this is the message, the role will be system, and the content is system prompt. So the system prompt will be added to the system. Now let's create a chat function that will take user message and send that message to ChatGPT or OpenAI API, and then get the response. So let's call it chat. And here we will pass user input, and in the messages we will append this. So this is role user. This means that the user has set this, and this is the content that user set it. Now I have this autocomplete. Now let's see if this is correct. And if it is correct, I will accept it. So I want to create chat completions, and I want to use the model that we have defined, and I want to send the messages, and the max completion tokens is max tokens. Sounds good. And we want to get the reply, and we want to append messages that is assistant said this reply and return reply. This is quite good. So I did not have to code it, I can just accept it. And I've already explained what we are doing. We are sending this, that is this model, and these are the messages, and use this many tokens to OpenAI API. And then we are getting the reply from the OpenAI API. And finally, we are returning the reply. Now we can do whatever we want with this reply after calling this function. So let's quickly try it out. I'll just create a function, a loop in this loop. We will continuously get user input, and if the user types exit or quit in lowercase, in any case, we will lower it anyway. So if the user types exit or quit, we will just break out of the loop. If not, we will just pass the user input to this chat function, and this response of the chat function will be returned from the chat method, and we are just printing that message. This is quite it, but we will definitely need to enforce more token control mechanism. Let's try it out, and if it works, we will add the token control. So let's run this. First, you need to create a virtual environment. Let's quickly create a virtual environment. Now, this is not a mandatory step, but it is recommended that you install all the project-specific dependencies in your virtual environment so that they are isolated from all your other projects, so that there is no mismatch of versions in one project to another project. Let's say if you use OpenAI's SDK version 1 and another project is using version 1.2, to keep your dependencies isolated is a good idea so that your code does not break unexpectedly. So let's just quickly create virtual environment. Once it's created, let's activate it. You do not add source in Windows. If you're on Mac or Linux, you need to add this. But if you're on Windows, do not add source. Let me just fix this very quickly. So I think it's this / in Windows, not /. That's why I was getting this error, and now the virtual environment is activated. If you are on Mac or Linux, the command is just add source and then /bin and then activate. This is the command if you're on Mac or Linux. Now, once this virtual environment is activated, let's install these dependencies. Now, we are doing this now, and as the ProGrade project grows, we will add more dependencies here and then install them later on. So the command to install the dependencies are python-mp install-r. That means install from requirements file and our file name. Hit enter, and these two dependencies, that is the token which we have not used yet, and OpenAI will be installed. So now that the installation is complete, let's clear the screen first. Let's try to run this. So we have our virtual environment open. No matter where you are in Mac or Windows, if you have your virtual environment activated, your virtual environment name will be shown here. Now let's try to run this python main.py. It says no module name.env. So we are using v, but we have not installed it because it was not here. Let's add python v, add any version here. Let me install just that. Now hit enter and let's install this. Now let's clear the screen again so that it's all clear. Let's try to run our main file again. And this time there is no error and it says, what do you want to say? Let's just say hello. Let's see what chat response, and it says, hey, what do you need help with? Let's write what's your name, and let's see what it does. It says name is ChatGPT or AI assistant. So we have a basic functionality ready. So you cannot just change the system prompt. It will just talk like this. Now let's implement max tokens and max token budget. You can press Ctrl and tilt together to minimize the terminal, and you can press it again to open it. So we are not closing it, we are just minimizing it. Now let's add some functionality. So first, let's add a function to get encoding, which will be used to count the number of tokens used. So that's called def-get-encoding, and we pass the model name to it. And since different models might use different encoding for tokens, this will count tokens based on the model. So again, this has made coding very easy. I'm getting this suggestion. So what it is doing is returning encoding for model, and this is what I want to do. And if there's an error, it says model not found, and then it returns a base coding, which is actually correct. So let's accept this. And now let's get our encoding. So encoding is getting encoding, and our model, which we have defined here, that is GPD5 nano. And now let's count the tokens that we are sending. So we will have count tokens and we will pass text to it. This is also, I think it's correct, but I'll make it a bit shorter than this. So we'll do count tokens and we will pass messages or text and we'll just return length. Encoding.encode our messages actually. Now this will be it for now. Now let's create a function to count total tokens used till now. So we'll say total tokens used and we'll pass messages to it. And what we'll do is initially this is not good. We do not set the total to 0 because it will be set to 0 every time we call this function. We do not want to do this. We want our tokens to be appended to previous or added to the previous tokens used. So what we'll do is we will remove this and just write try return sum of count tokens message content for message in messages. So we have our messages here and we count the text in content. And since we use try, we got to use except otherwise there will be an error. So let's just say print error counting tokens. So autocomplete is quite good in this kind of stuff because this is something that has to be done. It's quite like boilerplate code. So we have count total tokens. We have count tokens, and we have total tokens used till now let's just use it. So what we'll do is we'll create a function called enforce token budget. Here we'll pass the whole historical messages array and the budget. So here it is suggesting remove the oldest message, which is what we'll do. So what we'll do is if the length of message is greater than 1, we will just remove a message. If less than 1, we will not do anything. And let's just while token used. So it keeps on removing all the previous messages till we only have 1 left. So once we have reached the token limit, we will call this function. What this function will do is it will take all our messages with the system prompt till now, because when we chat, we will keep appending our conversation to the messages list. And we will preserve our system prompt that is on index 0. In an array, the indexes start from 0, 1, 2, 3. So the first element, that is the system prompt, will be at index 0 and then user messages follow. So once we reach the token budget, we remove the oldest user message and continue. So our enforce token budget enforces the tokens, and finally we have everything ready. We just need to enforce the token budget. So after we have received a response, we will call enforce token budget and send the messages array to it. In chat, we're appending whatever the user said and getting a response from OpenAI, and whatever response we get, we append it to our messages. And if the total message length increases the token budget, we remove the oldest message and return the reply. Here is the reply, and we print it on screen. So let's try to run this again. If everything is successful in the next tutorial, we will see how we can add organization-specific knowledge or any other knowledge base like PDFs, and also add a UI to this. If this video added value for you, go ahead and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more learners just like you. Subscribe so you never miss a new tutorial. And drop a comment below telling me what you are planning to build with your chatbot. I read every single one and love hearing your ideas. Keep building, keep learning, and I will see you in the next one.